What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to do this video today. This video to me is a long time coming. I've been trying to beef up my collection for this video for a while now, and that's because we're talking about BOUCHE ROUGE, a luxury, cruelty-free, clean initiative, a responsible brand that just ticks all of the boxes, all of the above. BOUCHE ROUGE is such a luxury brand, and it was quite expensive getting all of the products in front of me, but at the same time, ooh, this is the look that I created and I feel fabulous. So let's just get into the video. Before we're gonna get into the demo, I do want to get into the BOUCHE ROUGE commitments. So they have a few commitments that are quite interesting and should be mentioned. For example, they have a commitment on natural ingredients, but also ocean's health. And if you go to the website and you go to ocean's health, it says that 83% of Earth's water is polluted with microplastics. They're extremely harmful for the environment, toxic for the body. They remain present in most beauty products. BOUCHE ROUGE's stance is unequivocally zero microplastics. If you go, for example, to biodiversity, you see that the natural origin ingredients are always cultivated as close as possible to the production site, which is respect for the land in which they came, such as the case for Saint-Celiac, Brittany, where BOUCHE ROUGE collects the seaweed with anti-aging properties by hand. Products are never tested on animals, and beeswax is replaced by a plant-based wax. I won't go in all of the commitments. I'll, really motivate you to check that out yourself. But the last commitment I want to talk about is the climate action commitment, which is the BOUCHE ROUGE laboratory and production site. It's situated in Orleans, in a building that uses solar-powered geothermal heating, which allows for 3 times the reduction in energy consumption. The solar panels installed on the building's rooftop produce enough energy to cover the annual needs for 40 French homes. The standards of this beauty brand are really high, which I love to see, and I wish that other brands would actually mimic these type of standards. We don't live in a perfect world, and my collection isn't full of clean or even cruelty-free beauty. As much as I want to say that I look at cruelty-free and clean brands, I know that one clean has not been defined by the industry, but if it would have been defined, I want BOUCHE ROUGE to be part of that definition. Some of my products really hold a nostalgic feeling to my heart. It really has sentimental value, and I hate to say this because I wish that I had a collection that was fully cruelty-free, but I know that some of the brands that I use still allow some third-party testing if they want to sell it, for example, in China. I don't want to mention the brands because I feel like I'm not the channel for that, but I am aware, and part of me does want to move on to a little bit more of a conscious, clean beauty standard. Therefore, I was really interested in this brand. I don't want to bore you with all the text on the website. Please check out the website if you're even remotely interested in this brand, because it is incredibly interesting in everything that they do. Let's just get into the video and let's get into the formulations, and then also stay tuned for my final thoughts. I'll make sure to put all the timestamps down below if you just want to see one of the products, or you're just interested in like either the bronzer or one of the eyeshadow palettes. Spoiler alert, I did get 2 eyeshadow palettes, but there's only one of them on my eyes today. Yeah, let's just get into the video. Okay, so I think it's best to start with a bronzer because right now I'm just wearing foundation, powder, and my eyebrows. Let me check the website on what I paid, which bronzer I have. So I got the bronzer in Terre. It's a matte bronzer with 96% of natural ingredients. There are 3 shades. There is the blonde bronzer, there is a medium shade called Terre Brune, and there is a deeper shade called Terre Intense. I think the Brune shade could have worked for my skin tone as well, but I've been really into lighter bronzers, and I have the Victoria Beckham Beauty Bronzing Break in number 2, and I've been really enjoying the lighter shade of that bronzer duo. It says on the website, Terre Blonde is the first natural bronzing powder enriched with hyaluronic acid that enhances and hydrates the skin for a radiant complexion all day long. It's developed for fair skin tones. Now, at the moment, this is as fair as I'm gonna be. I'm like midwinter. This is truly the lightest shade that I am. So if it was ever gonna work for me, it was gonna work for me right now. And this is what the compact looks like. Now, I got this compact from Cult Beauty website, but if you get it from the original website, you can get this engraved. I did not know that. I thought you could only get lipsticks engraved. And all of the products that they have comes in this upsell leather. And then you open up, you see the label, and each product, so the bronzer, highlighter, the eyeshadows, all could fit in here. So I only got one of these compacts because the compacts is where the price is pretty expensive. I paid 35 euros for this bronzer, but if I wanted to get a compact with it, I had to pay an additional 59 euros, and if I wanted to get it engraved, I had to pay an additional 9 euros. So altogether, that would be pretty expensive, but if you're someone that just wants to try out these products, I think 35 euros is it's still a luxury price point, but it is sort of fair. So if you don't get the compacts, you'll get the bronzer like so. So you get it in the cardboard packaging, which is incredibly nice. And there is the logo right there. Let me swatch this bronzer. Ooh, it feels soft and creamy. And this is the swatch. So it is the fairest shade. I'm gonna go in with a, contouring brush. It's the brush that I always use, and I'm just gonna go in straight from this pan. There is a lot of kickback. I don't really mind that. I just know that then a lot of pigment is coming out of the pan. And let's just apply it to the face. Oh, I forgot to blend out my concealer. So this bronzer provides a lot of warmth. This, by the way, is filmed in natural lighting only. So this is the color, what you see is what you get. I don't touch up my videos because I don't want to do color touch-ups. I really want you to get the true color of the products. I don't do this in any of my videos. Sometimes I use an additional ring light. That's because it's currently winter time and I don't have a lot of time to film during the daytime, and it becomes dark so fast. So sometimes I need some additional lighting. So far, it's blending out pretty well. I actually love the color. I love this lighter version of a bronzer, and I think you can build up the color pretty well, because if you see it on my cheek, you're like, okay, well, that's pretty intense. Let's go into it again and do the other side. And I think I can contour a little bit with this bronzer just because it's so light, and it's, although a bit warm, I still think you can contour a little bit. So I'm gonna use a little bit on my chin. And why the hell not go down to my chest area. For contouring, it is a little bit on the warmer side, but it's not the worst. Okay, so this is my face all bronzed up. So far, I think it's a beautiful bronzer. I'm not sure if it will replace my favorite bronzers, but it applied really nicely, evenly. You have to like the color, so the color is to a warmer bronzer side. I am gonna swatch it next to my Victoria Beckham bronzer. And you know what? Let's also swatch it against the Westman Atelier bronzer. I got the shade Coupe de Soleil. So the first one is Coupe de Soleil Westman Atelier. This is La Bouche Rouge Blonde Bronzer. And these two are the Victoria Beckham Bronzing Break number 2. It's definitely a matte, and I think it's an interesting color. It is a little bit more orange yellow, so you have to like that color story. I think it looks beautiful. And it's for you guys to decide if this is the bronzer for you. I think that maybe for the summertime, this might be a great color if you were really fair. And I might need to go a shade up. The La Lumière highlighter comes in the same packaging as the bronzer if you don't buy the compact. It also retails for 35 euros. I'll put all the prices down below. I bought mine off of Cult Beauty, but you can buy it from the website. And if you wanted to buy the refillable compact case, it would also be the same. It's 59 euros. The description says it's the first natural highlighter with 96% natural origin ingredients formula. It's enriched with hyaluronic acid as well, which hydrates the skin and sculpts the face for a healthy, luminous complexion. In this, there's hyaluronic acid, rice powder, and also responsible mica initiative and no microplastics, same as the bronzer. This formula is vegan and not tested on animals. It's free from beeswax and animal fat, same as the bronzer, and 100% recyclable metal alloy, same as the bronzer. Again, I didn't get mine in that beautiful compact. I'm using the compact for the eyeshadow that I got, and I didn't want to invest in a lot of these compacts and maybe one of these products wouldn't work for me. So I got the highlighter just like the bronzer in this little cardboard case, and I think it's just time to feel it and love it. This is actually, I rarely get excited on highlighters, but this was a highlighter that I really wanted to try. Every time I saw people using this, it just looked so stunning. It is a smooth formula and it looks incredibly natural on the skin. I might have to swatch this against my Natasha Denona highlighter. That's currently my favorite, but let's first apply it on the face and see how well it applies. It also has that beautiful embossing, by the way. Let's swirl my brush in here. It picks up a very little amount, but maybe that's okay. That is stunning and blinding, way more blinding than I expected. So this only comes in one universal shade, but I'm sure this will work on multiple skin tones. It looks a little darker in the pan, but it is not dark on my skin. It looks so, it's blinding, but it does look like it's seeping into my skin really well. By the way, none of these products have a particular smell. If it smells like anything, it just smells like natural ingredients. Okay, I'm going a little overboard, but this is really pretty, guys. Look at that. And that is just in natural lighting. Like, that is blinding. In terms of highlighters, it's probably one of my most beautiful blinding highlighters that I have at the moment. Let me swatch it against my Natasha Denona one, which is currently my favorite, and then we can just compare it a little bit. The one I mean is in the Glam Face Light palette. I always say that name incorrectly. So these are the two next to each other. The first one is the BOUCHE ROUGE one, and the second one is the highlighter in the Natasha Denona palette. They're very similar, but the BOUCHE ROUGE one has a bit of a more skin tone color to it, whereas the Natasha Denona one is a blinding, you know, classic champagne highlighter. Both of them have that champagne feel, and actually I feel that in terms of when I look at them on my hands swatched, they look very similar. Can we say that this is natural? I mean, it's not really natural to have like beaming highlights on your eye, on your face. So, but okay, you know what I mean. It's a bit more natural, and I think it's beautiful. Honestly, beautiful. So the next thing I think I should do is go into an eyeshadow palette. And I was a little excessive, but I bought two. I couldn't decide between these two. They look a little similar, I think, but one is an all matte and one is a satin finish. And I couldn't decide, honestly. So I got Aral and I got Tage. And one of them I got in the compacts and one of them I got just like all the other ones. And again, I couldn't decide. I was like, oh, an all matte eye. I'm kind of partial to an all matte eye, but the satin, especially in real life now, woo! So I might just have to go in with the satin formula and maybe use Tage in another video. But let's see the description of this. It's an iridescent purple harmony, 4 luminous shades enriched with hyaluronic acid for an audacious purple smoky eye. Ombres Eyeshadow contains 93% ingredients of natural origins. So this is 93%, not 96. It's formulated without microplastic, talc, or silicone. It's not tested on animals. It's infused with ultra concentrated pigments, which allow you to obtain an intense buildable result. the very first application, use your fingers or a brush. The eyeshadows are available in 5 color palettes. They're all inspired by a multitude of hues that can be seen in riverbeds at various hours of the day. Loyal to our commitment to the planet, we named these colors combination of renowned rivers that are essential for the planet yet slowly disappearing. The Aral Lake was the 4th largest lake in the world. Its volume has since diminished by 90%. There's hyaluronic acid in here, rice powder. It's made with responsible mic initiative, shea butter, sunflower seed oil, and no microplastics. Honestly, it's so amazing. It's just creating that actual awareness. I really like that about this brand. Let me do some swatches. Then we have Tage, which is a harmony of matte beiges, 4 matte shades enriched with hyaluronic acid, a round beige and sand with perfectly blend together for a subtle, gentle, smoky eye. Tage contains 96% ingredients of natural origin, and it's also formulated without microplastic talc or silicones. It's not tested on animals. The Tage River in Spain is dying due to global warming and irrigation caused by intensive agricultural practices. So this is Tage All Swatch. I'm gonna go in with my favorite brush. This is the Rowan Everything Eye Brush. And I think I might try a different mirror just because there is a little bit of discoloration with that mirror. I'm gonna go in with that first shade, the lightest one, and just pack it all over the lid. There is some fallout, but a lot of pigment is coming off. So that shade really shows up on your eye. I'm gonna use the same brush and just continue on with that second shade. Let's go in with that third shade. And let's use the darkest and last shade of the palette. I really like this palette, but I'm not sure if it's going with my clothing. I don't know if I should just continue on or maybe try the other palette on the other eye. You know what? This was such a quick look. I think the best thing to do is I am going to try the other palette on my other eye and see if that maybe is a better look for me today. I am going to go to a family gathering and we are going to take some photos. So maybe that is a palette that is more appropriate for just random family gatherings. I'm gonna do the same to the other eye. So first pack on that first shade. Well, that first shade doesn't really show up on my skin tone as a color, but it does even out my eyelid. So it serves a purpose, just not really the purpose that I thought it was gonna serve. Then I'm gonna go in with that second shade. Again, that is very light. Let's go ahead in the third shade. Do the same, then with a little bit more precision. I wiped off my Everything eye brush. Maybe a little bit more pigment will come off if I use this brush. And let's use that final shade, the darkest one. Maybe I can use it as a bit of a liner. All right, let's do a close-up of both these eyeshadow palettes and let's pick a winner. Okay, so you probably already noticed, but I did switch out the palettes. I thought I was going to do the all matte palette. I think it's called the Tage palette, but I'm not at my final thoughts yet. I just preferred this eyeshadow palette. I'll get into it a little later why I preferred this one, but yeah, I in the end went for the Aral palette. I I keep on mixing up the names, but I went for the more shimmery palette. I know this is a purple toned look, but I feel like I can make it work. The last thing that I have is a lipstick. Now, of course, this brand is called BOUCHE ROUGE. So I feel that you have to include a lipstick if you're gonna try anything of the brand. I bought this lipstick off the BOUCHE ROUGE website itself because I wanted to get mine engraved, and voila, this is the biggest box. It also comes with that embossing, and you can open it up. Same background, just larger. Then you open up the box. You also get a beautiful card. This one is also in English, so that's nice. It's made of fine leather, refillable tradition. Because an estimated 1 billion lipsticks are thrown away every year in the world, we designed the first environmentally friendly refill made in France. So pure you can kiss. That is so cute. And this is my lipstick casing. You can use up to 3 initials. You can only do the initials on the website. So if you buy it from the website, not if you buy it from like Cult Beauty or anything. And the top, it is stamped with the logo. The bottom is a mirror, and this is the center. Now, of course, I did get a lipstick, and I got the shade Nude Red. I was in love with the shade when I saw it on the website. This comes in that cardboard packaging as well with the embossing. And this is the lipstick. So this is a cardboard packaging of the lipstick. And technically you could, oh, wrong side. Technically you could keep it in this container. But part of the beauty of getting one of these lipsticks is, of course, to get the label, the actual refill packaging that you can use for the rest of your life. It's for those who love a deep brown autumnal red, so I know it's not autumn, but whatever. It's a 97% natural origin ingredients serum formula enriched with a powerful anti-aging seaweed harvested by hand, vegan, cruelty-free, made without beeswax, does not include petroleum derivatives nor silicone. So let's put this beautiful baby in one of these containers. Oh, that was super easy. And this is now my beautiful lipstick. Again, you can do up to 3 initials. I am married, so I do have a maiden name. And this is it all together. I think this is a beautiful color. I can't wait to try it out. It is so shiny. This is the final look, guys. Okay, so let's get into my final thoughts on all the products that I got. It's not the full collection. There are some lip liners, there's some eyeliners, there's a mascara, but I didn't want to invest in things that didn't get me excited. I only wanted to invest in the products that really like tickled me fancy. So let's first talk packaging. In terms of the way that this is packaged, the way that it comes to you, it feels luxe, but it also feels like indeed it's recyclable. A brand like this, a brand that's cruelty-free, clean, really looks at the planet, has an extra message, I really, I keep dearly to my heart. I think this brand could have gotten away with a lot of things, and I would have still talked very highly about it. And it definitely had some hits and some misses, but let's just go into the first product. First is, of course, the bronzer. In terms of bronzers, I think it's a beautiful bronzer. I am happy I got the blonde color. Of course, like I said, I could have used the darker, deeper color. It is a warm brown, so you see it from the swatches. It's not as warm as my Westman Atelier one, but there is a bit of a yellow hue. It looks incredibly natural on my skin, and it blended really well. So there's nothing I could say about this bronzer except I think it's a beautiful bronzer, and it deserves a spot in my collection. If you like this brand, you're not going to be upset with this bronzer. I think that this idea of a refillable packaging is really nice. I do think that these refillable packaging containers are beautiful. I think the mirror is a little, you could improve the mirror a bit because you do want to use these on the go, and it didn't feel like the mirror was sufficient because it's not true to color. If you open up this little mirror, I feel like there's a discoloration. You can even see it. It's a bit more yellow, and you don't want that when you're using a mirror. Other than that, I think that it's made with beautiful ingredients. Please check it out on the website. I think it's a beautiful bronzer. 35 euros is pricey. It is a luxury price point, but I think that if you just get a Z palette or something, you can get a beautiful collection all in one without having to invest in multiple of these packages. If the brand would come out with a larger version of packaging, like refillable packaging, I would actually want to invest in that, so I could actually put my eyeshadow, my bronzer, and my highlighter all in the same packaging. Next, let's talk about the highlighter. The highlighter, guys, is stunning. You were wondering about, you know, getting a highlighter, or you're just wondering about this brand in general, I don't think you should skip on the highlighter. I think it's a sophisticated highlighter. It's made with awesome ingredients. The mica is, you know, obtained in an ethical way, and if that is something you care about, you're going to be happy with this highlighter. And the fact that this is actually a good highlighter and actually, you know, stands true to its claims. There is unfortunately only one highlighter, so if you are a very deep skin tone, I'm not sure if this would be a highlighter for you, just because, you know, we know that one universal shade is often not universal. I will say that I thought this was going to be a little deep, but it looks beautiful on the skin. And other than that, I have nothing else to say about this except it's beautiful. I am keeping it in this container, and part of me is actually wanting to buy another one of these, you know, like a blonde version or something to put my highlighter in, just because I feel like this highlighter also deserves a prime spot in my collection. Next come the eyeshadow palettes. Now there is a miss in here. I like the eyeshadow palette in the more satin formula. So this is the eyeshadow palette in Aral, and I think that Aral is beautiful. I think the look is beautiful in itself. I like the fact that it has a little bit more shininess to it, but not really glitter. I really like this formulation, and maybe it's pretty clear, but I like this formulation way better than the matte formulation. This has a nice color story. So this is Tage, but they're just not my favorite mattes. I thought they were a little hard to work with. The color payoff was also very minimum. If you were very fair skinned, you would probably really like this, but I'm pretty fair and I feel like this didn't really work for me. So I'm gonna put this back, into the container. I love this brand. So the fact that I didn't like something actually does speak volumes. Like I said before, like I feel like this brand could get away with a lot. And I did feel like I kind of wasted my money on that little palette over there. Lastly, let's look at the lips. First of all, this container, so this packaging of Upsolved leather, I think it's even like Hermes bag leather, so everything that they throw away comes to this brand, and then they can use it to make these beautiful lipstick cases. There are multiple colors, so check out the colors on the website. There's some limited edition packaging, so limited edition coloring. I saw this really beautiful dark blue packaging that they have right now, and yes, beautiful. I think that out of all the things that you can get from the website and from Cult Beauty, it's really expensive to get if you wanted to get it from the website, but you live in America, it's incredibly expensive. I hear the taxes are bonkers. So I would definitely recommend to get all of this collection, not from the Paris website, but from something like Cult Beauty or one of the other retailers. I'll make sure to put all the affiliate links down below. But if you do want to get something engraved, I would consider getting this engraved from the website. So actually paying the taxes for this, because this should last me a lifetime and it just looks so beautiful. I think the customization part of this brand is why this brand should get a little bit more recognition. It's such an experience, even getting the boxes, getting the packages, the way that this came in that really large box. Everything feels luxe, but also it feels like it's true to their commitments. And I really like that. I really like having things all matching together. And I enjoy that the line isn't too broad, that you feel a little overwhelmed. They do really talk about on the website on, you know, not wanting to participate in all the over consumerism when it comes to the cosmetic industry. And of course, as a YouTuber, I'm joining that consumerism mentality because I review makeup now, and my makeup collection has never been this large, as the half a year of me reviewing makeup has actually accumulated already. Before this, I did a no buy or a low buy. So I'm also in shock at my own consumption of makeup. So I do like that this brand provides that awareness and maybe teaches you to just look at beautiful things and beautiful packaging than having a lot of things, you know what I mean? So all in all, I think it's a beautiful brand to check out. The lipstick formula itself, I think it feels beautiful. It feels very, like, I can't even feel it on my lips. That's how light it feels. It went on fine. I think the opacity is really good as well. In terms of formula, it's a good formula, but as of right now, I'm not really sure if it's going to be my most used or most favorite. But in terms of color, oh, these colors really have my heart. It's such an universally beautiful color. I think it would look good on multiple skin tones. It's not like too harsh of a red lip. So if you're gonna look for a red lipstick but you don't dare to dabble in like the high pigment reds, I think this might be a good color for you. It has a bit of a brown tone, but I think it looks really good on my skin tone. I think that that's it for my review. So highlighter, bronzer, and lipstick, yes. In terms of eyeshadow formulation, I think you should stay away from the mattes. That's my opinion. At least that palette didn't perform to my standards, but the other palette, the Aral palette, beautiful. I love this brand commitment. I love the brand's formulation. Please check out the brand website or Cult Beauty if you want to know a little bit more on this brand. And I think I should sign off here. Affiliates are down below. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see luxury beauty. This is not a brand I usually feature, but it is a brand that I really wanted to feature on my channel one day, and it took me a while to beef up my collection to where I felt comfortable doing a video for you. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day, guys.